Welcome everybody to the On the Mat podcast. I'm your host, Paul Robertson, and this show is to highlight high school athletes, also to give these young men or young women a platform to tell their stories as they pursue their dreams in life. No matter what the dream is, remember, this is only the beginning. I'd like to welcome our guest today. This young man is a senior running back from Gardena High School in Gardena, California. In 2022, he was named All-Purpose Marine League MVP. Sheesh! As a junior, he was named to first team All-City. This young man finished with 1,077 yards total with 10 touchdowns. Made third team All-State for multi-purpose player. He was also named the Marine League MVP the second year in a row.
Yeah.
Man, this young man also holds a 3.6 GPA. I'd like to welcome Xavier Grant to the On the Map podcast. Welcome to the show. Hey, man, thank you for taking time out of your busy day because I know camp has started to talk to me, man.
Yeah, it's been a really tough camp, especially with just everybody clicking together because we lost like 17 seniors last year.
Wow.
So now we got a lot of the young guys last year are kind of building up because they see how like we got I say like 8 or 9, 10 people that are really like good players, but the young guys are adapting to that. So
nice. Hey, so before I even get to my first question, knowing that you guys lost 17 seniors, right? What is your thought process, and like how do you approach each day to try to get the younger guys up to speed for what you guys are trying to accomplish this year?
I try to be accessible because at my school or on my team, a lot of my teammates like see me as some like big person, but I try to be accessible and try to be like a great teammate to my teammates. So even younger guys can come and ask me different questions, or did I do this right, or did I do that right? That's just come with the role of being a leader because I've been a leader on my team since I was a freshman. So
Yeah.
the role of being a leader is just showing that you can help your teammate be the best player that they can be.
I love it. So last year you had an outstanding season, but so did the young man you shared the backfield with. What is it like being able to, because you play both sides of the ball. So what is it like to be able to take a step back knowing that you have a running back you can count on like Miles Mason?
Oh yeah, that's my dog right there. Really, we just go hand in hand with each other. Like even like all week, all camp, we always like practice together. We recently did a beach workout not too long ago. We kind of like feed off of each other. So once I start get going, then he gonna start get going. Then it's gonna be a hard time to stop us.
Okay, I like it. Hey, so I see that. So you guys got to come to our passing league, or like our to throw against us, and you guys really started to gel at the end, like the third week that we went. Like the first couple weeks, you know, everybody's just learning each other, but that third and final week that you guys came, you guys were on fire.
Yeah.
What contributes to that? Like, do you guys get together and talk amongst talk amongst yourselves as leaders or as a team? Because dude, from week 1 to week 3, you saw a definite change.
Yeah. My quarterback, as a matter of fact, so me, Miles, and my quarterback, we've been playing with each other since we were like 9 or 10.
Okay.
So for us, I really have like talks with my quarterback. So we work on different stuff like during like our own time, and like yesterday after practice, I stayed and we did like scramble drills. Like if I have an option route and he has to roll out a certain way, then I have to go somewhere else. But with him, he really just locked in on making sure that he can get off to his backs, and then even with our receivers and their route running, they start to develop more IQ and intellectual abilities about how they have to run their routes. And once again, those are young receivers too. They're not. Our last year, of our starting receivers were all seniors.
Okay.
So now we have a lot of young receivers. We got one receiver that's coming back from that core, but everybody else is young.
Okay. I saw that you guys also had a transfer from Santa Monica. Does that, like, I'm not trying to get into the details of transferring, but does that make you feel good going into your senior year that there's younger guys from different schools that have a high amount of gratitude to have the opportunity to be a part of your team this year?
Yeah, cause coming to my freshman year, nobody really wanted to come to Gardena because the legacy Gardena has had, it wasn't really that great.
Okay.
So now coming into my senior year, we got players that want to come from all different schools, and oh, Gardena's good. So like, it's kind of built up a good reputation for not only Gardena but my coach, me, my teammates. That shows that we're all doing good. That we can get players from other schools to come to our school.
Yeah. Like, for people, I'm pretty sure everybody, all our viewers know, and because we're based out of the city section in LA, right? But we got some viewers in other states. Um, everybody transfers nowadays, whatever that they move, like that's the norm. Everybody's moving because they want to go play for a school, so their parents, they move to the location to give their kids the opportunity. So the fact that you guys have built something, like you said, you had a bad, not a, you had a bad rep, and you got
Hmm.
your group of guys have been able to turn it around where young men are able to talk to their families, and families are like, okay, you know what, I'm going to give you this opportunity, I'm going to relocate for you to pursue your dream. Is awesome, man. That's a testament to your hard work, and that leads me to this. I looked at your, like, looking at your whole body of work since you were a freshman until now. What would you say is your motivation for you to work as hard as you do?
Really, this is the most important thing I always tell my teammates. Like a lot of people, they kind of stray away from this, but if you work hard, you will have so much fun going out on Fridays and just playing football. Like
Yeah,
me, working hard is the most important thing because once I get out there on Fridays, I know I'm gonna have so much fun. I know I'm gonna
yeah.
enjoy my time playing the sport. That's what it's really all about.
Nice. Now, I also know you guys got a new defensive coordinator. You're the man on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to get into some of the plays that you made on the defensive side.
Hmm.
You guys got a new DC.
Hmm.
I used to play with him for the Inglewood Blackhawks, man. That's
Oh,
my
for
guy
real?
right there. Hey, but talk a little bit about how it is having Coach Cachet over on your staff now.
Yeah, Coach KP, man, he's a mastermind, man. I seen his defensive end film. That's what really kind of I was like, oh yeah, he's nice. But even with the new schemes that he put into our defense is very much talented. Like just with the players that we have, even like some young guys moving up and like gravitate into how we play and how physical we play. So even the young guys coming up, he's kind of making this a really good defense this year.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, honestly, because a lot of us that don't play anymore, we love to give back, and I see, like, in those passing leagues, I saw how passionate he was, but I saw that he also earned your guys' trust.
Yeah.
Like, the way he talked to you guys and you guys were dialed in was amazing, and I can't wait to see what it turns out to be during the season, man, because you guys are something to watch. I'm very excited. The fact that we the fact that we may have to see you in the D1 playoffs, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. Last
Hmm.
season, I was doing some research, right? And one of the biggest games came against King Drew, where you guys ended up winning 14-12. But on that night, your stat line was 10 carries for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. When you have games like that, how does that make you feel?
Uh, it really, it really like just puts. I really can't say how it makes me feel because all I'm really doing is just having fun out there. So I'm like,
Okay.
as I'm scoring, I'm laughing, and my teammates come. My teammate Jacob last year, he come pick me up off my feet after I score, laughing in my face. So like
Yeah.
stuff like that, it really just like it puts joy. Even like the first one I got, I wasn't really saying too much because I'm like, man, we still ain't done yet. I got to get another one. That's what my coach told me. He
Yeah.
was like, hey, you got to get another touchdown. So I said, all right.
Yeah. And you also went crazy, man. Like, you also went crazy on defense, man. Like, playing both sides of the ball, man. Like, what is your preparation the week of a big game like that? Like knowing that you had like the team is on your shoulders, you're going to get majority of the carries, but also you got to step up on defense.
Really, I watch a lot of film, like especially if I know I'm going against a good team. I try to watch their tendencies and who's their key players, who's their best tackler. Because me as a running back, I always look at the linebacker, and that would tell me a lot. Like I'll look at their film and see what their linebackers do. That'll tell me if I really got lock in, or if I know I'm gonna have like a really good day, or even if I really got lock in just so I do have a really good day if we're going against a really good linebacker. But even on defense, I look at offenses films. I love watching film. That's one of the main things I do. I've been watching film since I was like 8. When I first looked
Nice.
up like a Pop Warner team that I wanted to play for, and my parents, they
Okay.
was like, "Oh, you got to do all your research." Nah, I did it.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about a little bit about your parents since you brought them up. What influence do they have on you, and for you to be as talented as you are, but academically holding a 3.6, what type of influence do your parents have on you?
Really, they're kind of like lenient. They're strict but lenient. Like they
Okay,
understand that I'm still a teenager, and they understand that they know they can trust me. Like they know I have my priorities straight. Like
that's right.
they know I play football, I do my school and stuff, and they don't really they don't really get mad at me too much about certain stuff because I'm always on top of it. I make sure I am on top of it, so they can have somebody to brag about.
That's right. That's right, man. Hey, man, I can't wait for your parents to watch this interview. Send it out to their to your friends and family as well, because, young man, you definitely deserve this highlight. So, your freshman year and sophomore year, your team, like we touched about it earlier, like Gardena wasn't really on the right track, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you were a part of those teams. So, your freshman year and sophomore year, your team didn't have much success. Your freshman year, you guys went 3-6. Sophomore year, you went 5-5, but you guys went 0-4 in league. What would you say was the turnaround in the program to lead you to the success that you had last season going into this season too?
So my freshman year for us, we were a lot of people there had never played football. So
Okay.
our offensive line they never played football. A lot of our DBs receivers never really played football, and um then my sophomore year, now everybody's kind of starting to understand what football is about, what football like how football works, what you have to do to be good at football. So then we start putting players in different positions, see what they're good at, see what they're not good at. Then going into my junior year, then we had everybody in their right positions. So that's what really made our team gel because everybody played a position that they were really good at and they excelled at so much.
Nice. Nice. Now, being a part of a change like that, because as a coach, I know we try to, like, there when you're not successful, there's time where it's easy for an adult to just be like, you know what, these are kids, and just throw your hands in the air. But as a player, being part of a change, what were some of the things that you were faced with that you really fought through to make sure that you stayed and you were a part of the change?
Really, just like the negative feedback I got during my freshman and sophomore year. I was pretty good during youth, so I had a lot of people behind me.
Okay.
So going to Gardena, a lot of people was like, "Why are you going to Gardena? Why did you go to Gardena?" And I'm going because I know this is a very good like decision for me. I know my
Right.
coach. I know the coach. I've been playing with him since I was young, and he said he needed my help to turn around the program. So that's exactly what I did.
How do you feel knowing that you put a stamp in turning this program around?
I just feel great about it because even with some of my teammates, a lot of my teammates gravitated towards me.
Okay.
So it kind of like helped even build the coach. That's the reason why we went 10-2 because our team kind of gravitated towards each other. So as everybody started bonding, I was the type of teammate that people could come and talk to me about anything, even outside of football. I'm still that type of teammate. So a lot of my teammates will come to me outside of football. We go hang out outside of football, and then when we go to football practice, now we know we got each other's back.
Right.
That was the type of energy that I gave with my teammates.
That's right. Hey, man, not too many young men are able to say, you know what, put that on me. I want that. I want that burden. I want that. I want that responsibility to be able to be the leader of the team. Even though we didn't have success in the past, I'm going to be here, stick it out, and I'm going to be part of the change. So you talked about going 10-2. Last year, you guys only had 2 losses, one to Banning and the other was to Garfield in the playoffs. From those 2 losses, what did you take away from both of them that you are now going to make sure that doesn't happen again this season?
The Banning loss, believe it or not, that was a loss that hurt me the most, like out of all of my losses, only because I was so proud of my team, of how
Yeah,
we actually like. I'll say we're usually a second half team, but that first half was just, it was nowhere near how we play football. So
right.
I'll say going into the games, we should be a first half and a second half team, and that's what we kind of locked in on the rest of the season.
Now, what about that Garfield loss? Because up until then, like you guys were putting up numbers. You guys hit Banning, great program. Take the loss. You guys go on a run, smacking everybody. You get into Garfield, and looking at the score, like the score is no implication of how good your team is.
No.
What did you take away from that one?
Really, that was one of the things where in the moment you can't change it, but like it shouldn't have happened because my team, one thing I try to do, I try to humble them. I feel like our heads got too big, and
Okay.
that's something that Banning did for us to help us win those games during the rest of the league, like the Carson and Norbon game.
Yeah.
The Banning game humbled us, so then when we went to the Carson game, we really had a chip on our shoulder because
Right.
everybody put us as the underdog, but we showed out. So when
Yes, you
everybody
did.
put us at the top dog against Garfield, it was kind of, everybody was getting their heads too big. Everybody thought it was gonna be an easy game. Really, nobody really. People came to play, but they just thought it was gonna be a regular game where we finna blow them out. But it wasn't the
Yeah.
case. It's a playoff game.
Yeah. Hey, man, in the playoffs, it's one and done, so anybody can get knocked off. But going into this season, knowing that you had those two losses, what's your mindset like to make sure that doesn't happen again? What's the message you're preaching? Like, I know you said we got to be a first and a second half team. So from the Garfield loss, what is that message that you're going to preach so that doesn't happen again?
Just stay consistent. If you could do your job consistently, we can win games, no matter
Yeah.
what. So my job on my team is really just to be the player that makes big plays. Once again, that's my job. I have to be consistent at that. So I try
Yeah.
to tell my teammates to just stay consistent on whatever job they are, even if it's blocking or running the ball, catching the ball, throwing the ball. No matter what it is, just make sure you stay consistent at that.
I like it. Speaking of big plays, even though you guys took an L in this one, I was looking through stuff, I found this clip, man. It's against Banning. It's probably one of the best things I've ever seen. You already know what I'm talking about, man. You're coming off the edge. They go to run a screen. Boom, tip ball, pick straight to the house. The video clip, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because the video clip is tagged "Read and React." Big time play in a big time game. Let's talk about how you prepare for games like that in order to make plays like that.
Film, watching film is, I'm a very smart player, so like I always look at tendencies and how people move, what they do. Like, with that game, once I seen that tackle chop block, I knew exactly what play it was.
Nice.
So it gave me a bit of nostalgia because my sophomore year, kind of a similar play happened. I
Yeah.
tipped it, picked it, but I got hawked. So
Oh,
on that run, I was not trying to get caught.
hey, I saw you hit another gear, man. It was nobody was catching you. You was gone. That's awesome. So now, out of all our guests, you are the first one that I am honored to say that you have committed. So on June 25th, you announced your commitment to Air Force Academy. So first, I'd like to congratulate you. Second, as me being an Army vet, I'd like to thank you for your commitment of service. So let's talk about what went into you making that decision.
Making that decision really, it was a lot of people in my ear, but I had to kind of push them out, even though they all came to the same decision.
Right.
Um, the ultimate decision that kind of pushed me towards that decision was, what is going to be a better offer than this?
Okay.
So Coach Deason had came to my school. I met him, and like a month later, then he had called me, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to have your first offer from Air Force Academy?" I was surprised because it happened so fast. Like he kind of slipped that part in.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, because I forgot how he said it, but he said it so slick. I didn't even hear him say it
Yeah.
until he was like, "Well, here's your first offer from Air Force Academy. Congratulations."
Nice.
Because I was with my teammates too. All my teammates was like, then as soon as I hung up my phone, I was like, guess what? It was like, what? I was like, I got my first offer. Everybody just started
Yeah.
jumping around with me and stuff. But
That's
man,
nice. Hey, so you have a funny story about how that call even happened. Let's tell me about the story. Well, I kind of briefly heard it. Let's tell the viewers how that call went, like how you almost didn't answer the call.
yeah. So I'm sitting in class. I'm editing photos because it was a photography class. I'm editing photos, and my teacher, or not my teacher, but I get a phone from Coach Steeson, but it was like a very unknown number, and I'm thinking it's like a scam likely call or something.
Right.
So I'm like, should I answer it? I just answered it, and it was Coach Steeson. He was like, "Hey man, it's Coach Steeson from Air Force Academy, and I'm in your area. I want to come get your height measurements. Just ask you a couple questions." I was like, "Yeah, that's for sure. I can. I'm gonna tell my coach, and then when you get here, my coach will come get me out of class."
Yeah.
So he came, measured me, got my height and weight. A month later, he offered.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Thank God you answered that phone call. Hey, man,
Yeah.
I don't be answering numbers either. I send them straight to voicemail. Like, I don't know you. Voicemail. So before you committed, you actually had an opportunity to attend UNLV's camp.
Hmm.
Talk about what that experience was like.
Really, it was like going into college camps. What I learned, you have to have been in contact with the coaches for anything to really happen. Me personally, I feel like I had a crazy camp that day. Like as a running back, I feel like I did the best.
Yeah.
There was linebackers that came to cover me, and I could not be guarded as a running back. Even during the 7-on-7 portion, I did a really good job. But um, the thing is, since I didn't already know Coach Ford, that was the running back coach. Since I already didn't wasn't in contact with him, he wasn't really looking at me as he would have been if I already knew him.
Yeah.
So going in there, that was kind of like one of the hard parts. No, I have an even crazier thing about that too.
All right. Tell me.
Coach Ford actually hit me up around like a year later, or like I say a couple months later.
Okay.
He calls me and tells me, "Hey, I'm at your school. Is anybody here?" It was on a Wednesday. It was the only Wednesday I've ever been in school where we did not have a school on that day.
Wow.
But he came on that Wednesday and he called me and he was like, "Hey, I'm here. I came to just like check up on you, ask you a couple questions." I was like, "Coach, we did not have school today, man." And the sad thing is that once they go out to your school, they can't come back.
Okay.
I think they can't come back for years, so that kind of blew the UNLV thing.
Oh, man. Hey, but it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah.
Hey, so for the past 2 seasons, you really made a name for yourself in one of the toughest leagues in the city section.
Hmm?
Going into your senior year, what is your approach knowing that you're the reigning MVP and everybody's going to be looking to stop you?
They just gonna have to come and try. That's the
Oh,
best thing I could say.
I like it.
If you
I
see
like
how
it.
like even today at practice, you see how I've just been running, and I've even got better on my agility. So it's boosted my confidence even way up. So
I love it. I love it. Let's go. First game against Crespi's right around the corner.
yeah.
All right, let's see. What's next for you? I got this one. What is your inspiration, Xavier? Like, everybody's got a why. What is Xavier Grant's why?
This is one thing that I just talked to somebody about. What I really want out of everything that I do, I just want generational wealth, like with my kids, and like even I think about my future all the time. My
That's right.
future is literally what gets me or what keeps me going in school and football. Because I know if once I have generational wealth, I know my kids are going to be wealthy, my kids' are going to be wealthy, and I know the Grant name is going to be a very wealthy name. So that's really what I'm aiming for.
Man, not too many young men your age think that way, and that's a testament to the way you've been raised and you've been brought up. So shout out to mom and dad, shout out to the village, shout out to the people that are pouring into you. So this leads me to my last question. At the end of the season, what needs to have been done in order for you to say Xavier Grant has accomplished everything he set out to do his senior year?
A city championship, another MVP, another MVP award, and I at least want to get on. I want to get second or first team All State. That's my goal.
That's right. Now, I'm going to give you a moment because there's a lot of peers. There's a lot of young men your age, young women that may be watching the show that come from where you come from, that face some of the things that you have faced. If you could give them any bit of advice, what would that advice be?
Don't don't let anybody control what you do. Don't let what anybody say control what you do. Always figure out what you want to do for your future. You're the only person that can affect your future. Nobody else can. So even if you're not even playing football, even if you want to go to college and be a lawyer or something, you control that. So if that's what you want to do, and that's what you want to do in the future, you got to work hard at it so you can do it in the future.
I love it. Hey Xavier, I'm gonna need an Air Force shirt from you, brother, because I'm gonna be repping. I'm gonna be supporting you at the next level. I want to give a quick shout out to the money department because they stopped by the high school this past weekend. And they donated. They gave us these sweet shirts. It says money department on the back. But until next time, for all the viewers, please hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow our man Xavier Grant. This young man has a bright future ahead of him. Until next episode, thanks for joining. Peace.